Hey y'all, it's your pal Madge, and we're going to talk about strawberries this week. But first, I want to show you I had a brainwave for what to do with this long, skinny bed at the top of the hill in front of my house, and I'm really pumped about it. So let's go see what I did before we talk about planting bare root strawberries.
I live on top of a hill, and along the top, there's this long, skinny patch of dirt, and I did not know what I was going to do with it. But then I had an idea. Like a lot of people, I spent much of 2020 on a couch playing Animal Crossing, specifically breeding flowers and planting them in rainbow order all over my Animal Crossing island. So I thought, hey, what if I could do that in real life and make my front yard into the Animal Crossing rainbow, ombre, dahlia cosmos, zinnia, sunflower garden of my dreams? So that's exactly what I did. I started by planting the dahlias, the same varieties that you saw in my inspiration picture. And I use this little tool that's like a bulb digger. You stand on it, it goes right in the earth, it pulls out a plug of dirt, and then you throw in the dahlia bulb, doing your best to make it horizontal with the growing eye facing upward. Then I took some composted manure and I filled in those holes for the dahlia bulbs so that they would have plenty of nutrition when they start to grow. Now, the next step is I'm adding the composted manure to the soil that's already there to amend it a little bit, make it a little bit more nutritious for the seeds that I'm about to throw down in a few minutes here, because this soil actually isn't that great. So I want my seeds to have some nutrition so they can grow. Now I have my hoe and I'm doing my hoeing like I always do, and I'm spreading that manure out all along this little bed and I'm working it into the soil that's already there. And of course, I'm avoiding the spots where I placed a dahlia already. Now I'm going through my seed collection and I'm pulling out the varieties that I think will fulfill the color gaps in between the dahlia varieties that I've planted and create that ombre effect. I've got some cosmos, some zinnias, and even some dark red sunflowers at the other end. Now I am covering up those seeds with more soil. This way, they will have good soil to grow into. And I'm spreading it out where it clumped whenever I dumped it out of the bag. And what you can't see is that I also very carefully walked all along this bed to press the soil and the seeds together. Then it rained, and this is what the bed is looking like now, all watered in and ready to grow. And within a matter of weeks, I am absolutely positive that it's going to look exactly like my island did in Animal Crossing, or at least it's going to look like my inspiration picture. These are the varieties that I planted, so we should get pretty close. All right, on to the topic of strawberries. This is a Greenstalk, a vertical planter that I planted last week with strawberries and nasturtiums, and now we're going to put another one together.
This is a bare root strawberry. Does it look a little dead? Yes, it does. But once you plant it in soil, it will grow and put out a bunch of leaves and flowers and eventually delicious strawberries. The important thing with these is to know the parts of this because it makes a difference to how you plant it. So the stringy parts down here are the roots. And then up here, this part is the crown. And the place where the crown and the roots come together, you want to make sure when you put that in the soil, that's actually just above the level of the soil. So I planted a bunch of these bad boys earlier today in a green stalk, and now we're going to assemble it.
All right, so here are the trays of the green stalk, all planted out with a bunch of bare root strawberries. There's 7 of them, and each of them has 6 pockets. So that's 42 strawberry plants in just a couple of square feet, which is amazing for the city. This is the spinner that all of those trays will sit on so that you can turn it around so it can get equal amounts of sunlight. So now it's time to put this guy together. And the way it works is that each layer, when you put it down, you put one of these gray pieces on top, and that allows the water to filter down from the top of the green stalk into the soil on every level. That way, you don't need to water each pocket individually every single time. You can just water the top of the green stalk, and the water will seep right through. Now, for this reason, it is important that you fill each layer completely to the top so that there's good contact between the water reservoir and the soil so that the water can flow through to the roots of the plants. Now you can see when I'm putting this together, there's little clips on the bottom of each layer that kind of hook into the spaces between the pockets on the lower layer. It's pretty obvious when you're putting it together when you've got it right. You can feel it sort of clunk into place. So if you look here, you can see exactly what I'm talking about with those little clips. I'm just getting those into position and then it's in place. And then adding the water reservoir and then moving on to the next layer. So I'm excited about this vertical growing solution for a couple of reasons. One, obviously, love strawberries. Got to have strawberry jam. And nothing is better than fresh strawberries out of your own garden. My grandpa used to grow a huge garden with tons of strawberries, and I used to help him pick them. So growing strawberries makes me remember those really fun times when I was a kid. Also, getting them up off the ground like this means that you'll have less pressure from pests. And, I will fight a slug for my strawberries if I have to, but I'm happier if I don't have to. I'm a lover, not a fighter. All right, so now I'm trying to figure out how to get this water reservoir on the top, and I'm just about to notice, oh, there we go. There's little clips again, and I just need to fit those into the pockets of the layer below, and then the water reservoir will be positioned right into place. And I think it maybe took me 5 minutes to put this whole thing together. It took about 6 cubic feet of soil to fill it. And with any luck, we're now going to have strawberries for years to come. Here is a closer look at how the watering system works. So we have this water reservoir on top, and you can see the holes in there. So when you want to water this, you just pour the water in there. It flows down through those gray pieces and seeps into the soil on every level. And that makes watering it pretty easy. And the water's flowing all the way down to the bottom. And there's even a little pipe if you happen to water it too much so that your plants don't get waterlogged. So this is the one that I planted the other day, and this one has a lid on top. I forgot to order a lid for the second one, so I'm going to have to get one of those. But it's a really good idea to have a lid because that way no gross things can get in your water and get down into your plants. But yeah, I think I planted this one maybe 5 or 6 days ago, and it's already starting to sprout. So the plants are happy, I'm happy, and we will see how everyone does throughout the rest of the season.
That's what I have for you this week, friends. And next week, if you come back, I will be able to hopefully show you some progress on this very ugly area of our side yard.
Right now, it's just a wasteland of cardboard that we put down to kill the grass in random containers. But hopefully, this time next week, I will have some raised beds and I'll be able to start planting them out. Before I go, I wanted to show you my new favorite thing in the garden, which is our sun face mirror hung above some very small but cute hot pink azaleas.
That's what we have for you this week. Make sure you subscribe if you want to come back next week and see how we continue to transform this space into something lush and beautiful. Thanks for spending your time with me. Bye for now.